Session ist der Schiedsrichter Thorsten Müller und die Akteure in einem absoluten Top-Match Alan McManus gegen Shaun Murphy.
Rob Calb, our Master of Ceremonies here in Berlin. There is Shaun Murphy, always very popular with the crowds, plays a fast, attacking, attractive game, one of the best cue actions in the modern game for sure. He knows he's got his work cut out today against McManus, who's one of the finest tactical players. First up, McManus just unpacking his cue there, as is Murphy, and Joe Johnson, former world champion, is watching alongside me. Good morning again, Joe.
Yeah, good morning, Philip. And as I was saying earlier, it's great to have these two contrasting styles. Alan McManus has got the all-round game, make no mistake about that. He's won the Masters. He just hasn't won the World Championship, but he's more or less won everything else, and he's a great player. And obviously, Shaun Murphy, world champion.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good attacking player, and it's Alan McManus to break. Always good to get a good break off.
Best of 9 frames, of course. The first of 5 to go through to the round of 16 and a meeting with either Dave Gilbert or Mark Joyce. They're also in action today.
McManus doing so well to be still competing at this level at 48 years of age. As I was saying, great all-round player, great tactical brain. And straight away, snooker and Shaun Murphy on all the reds.
Well, he made the Crucible semi-finals 2 years ago, McManus, when he was aged 45. Some achievement, given the standard in the modern game. But he still loves to compete. He absolutely loves to be out there. Still works very hard at his game.
Foul. Enemies.
Got very close.
McManus.
Well, and a free ball, if he so wishes. The brown may go to that left corner. Now, what to do? Caught it this time, but a little bit too thick. But doesn't look as though there's any damage done. Trying to get the cue ball over the left side of the table where there was a lot of danger. And this looks pretty good. And that's where it's awkward for his opponent.
It's an area of Shaun Murphy's game that I think he's been working on, the tactical side. If there is an Achilles heel with Murphy, and he has so much talent, and as we've mentioned, a great cue action. It has been in the past perhaps his tactical play on occasions, but I definitely think, Joe, there are signs that he's improved in that regard.
Yeah, I do as well, and you know, he's a great player, make no mistake about that. And if he did have that tactical side, then I couldn't see any reason why he shouldn't be #1 in the world. That's his ambition. He's won everything else. Doesn't want it to drift to the right, and that's just what it's done. Cue ball drifted to the right. He was playing that full in the face on the red, and it could be costly. Cue ball coming down the table here, just drifted to the right. Got the double kiss and left the red on. Pink's available.
1.
And did well to get onto it from there. So already this is a really good chance. Shaun Murphy.
Seven.
Just came back a little bit too far. Wanted to be straighter on that red.
8.
This time not hard enough.
$13.
Choice of reds.
$14.
Well, that could have been worse. Making contact with the red on the corner, on the side cushion. Not sure if he's come hard enough for the red he played on.
20.
He is on a red, but again, awkward to get position. Maybe he could just drop this red into the right corner and try and finish on the pink into the middle. He's just checking that. Not sure if the pink will go into that right middle pocket. Well, if it does,
21.
That was a good kiss. But another test of this. No. So McManus in
Shaun
with a
Murphy.
chance.
21.
It was a tough shot to the middle. Admittedly, one that Shaun Murphy expected to get.
One.
Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball to gain position on the pink.
Seven. Eight. $14. $15.
It's been a relatively modest season for McManus thus far. Just one round of 16 appearance. That was at the China Championship right at the start of the season,
21.
where he lost by the odd frame to Fergal O'Brien. So this would be a very significant win if he could upset Murphy today.
Well, he tried to play a delicate cannon on the red to leave himself on the black, but this is a little bit too close. Didn't need to play it. Could have screwed out for the pink. And that's a good recovery shot. That wasn't easy. When the balls are so close like that, very difficult to find the potting angle.
29.
Yeah, did well to avoid the reds and get the right side of the blue.
$35. 36. $42.
Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball
43.
to check that cue ball back across the table for the pink. It was a good shot. That sounded a little kicky. But he's still on this red, down the cushion. 26 points the lead. It's going to start getting difficult now with those two reds over the side cushion.
49.
That applause is for Maisie Wen, who's up against Hamid Maya over on table 4. A break of 102, so a century early in the day. Of course, there are 5 tables in total here at the Templedrum. 3 matches being played this morning, and the crowd can see everything that's going on.
Yeah, that's the view. Terrific view of all tables. Well, a little too low on the black for comfort, but he
50.
might have the angle to go in and out of baulk, come across the green spot and try and get in behind those two reds, or play the cannon to them. If he should miss them, he'd be on the red on the black cushion. The important thing was the pot, and this looks good. Yeah, nicely played.
57.
40 points the difference, so this red and a colour. And what a start this would be for Alan McManus.
$58.
So that missed pink by Murphy into the middle pocket Looks like it's going to be costly. Just the pink or black needed. This is the pink. Just aimed a little too high. These could have been Shaun Murphy's points. Made absolutely sure of the pink, and rightly so.
$64.
One snooker to draw.
Alan McManus, 64.
So one snooker to tie. Not the best safety he's ever played. Pushing the red over the baulk corner. This to make absolutely sure.
One. Eight. Nine.
It's a pretty confident start, isn't it, from the underdog?
$14. Alan McManus, 14 in the first frame.
And Shaun Murphy remains in his seat. So Murphy's miss on the pink to right centre proved pivotal in that opening frame. A break of 64 from Alan McManus. He leads 1-0. An excellent start then from Alan McManus in his round of 32 match here at the Templedrum against Shaun Murphy.
Second frame.
Former
Shaun
world
Murphy,
champion had a
two-break.
chance. Mr. Pink, not an easy one to right centre. McManus stepped in with a break of 64.
Well, a little fortunate, the break-off. Players don't play in behind the green. Play the cue ball to the baulk cushion.
It's touching ball.
just caught them a little bit too thin. Hence catching that middle pocket bump. But nothing easy on for McManus. Left a couple of tempters for Shaun Murphy, one to the left, one to the right. And he's got the cue part to bring that cue ball back for the blue.
1.
Well, it was a good pot, but the cue ball caught the jaws of the pocket. Didn't get back to the blue. So just a safety.
Yellow ball. Shaun Murphy, 1.
Well, again, there's a long red on to the right corner. And I do feel that Murphy's got to attack this game. Because, as I said before, McManus, a great tactician.
A mainstay of the top 16 for many years, Alan McManus, and super consistent in terms of getting to the business end of the big events down the years.
What about that?
1.
Outrageous fluke, and fortunately for Shaun Murphy, he's not on a colour.
Blue ball.
So just a little tuck in behind the blue. Oh.
Alan McManus, 1.
So, having apologised for the fluke, Murphy snookers in tight behind the blue.
Yeah, that's how sorry he was. And very nearly, this is the fluke again, and off the white, very nearly touched the cue ball because he missed it the first time round.
Just to underline the point about McManus's consistency in big events down the years. 37 major semi-finals, 20 major finals.
Foul. And a miss.
As
Alan
Murphy hits
McManus,
the pink
6.
instead of the red, but just 4 professional titles. So converting those extended runs in the big events into silverware has proved tough for McManus down the years, but as I say, he still loves to compete. And what a good chance this is.
Yeah, that was a poor escape, wasn't it, from Shaun Murphy? A big target to land up into the reds, and catching the pink, well, left an easy starter for Alan McManus.
Six. Seven.
Well, this time he might just decide to go into the pack of reds. He could play for the loose one. Oh, this doesn't look good. That's
Foul.
unfortunate.
Alan McManus, 7. Shaun Murphy, 5.
Look at this again. He caught them nice. And you couldn't foresee that coming. Well, it could be the deep screw back shot, this. Well, it was too hard for the blue.
An uncharacteristic miss from Murphy. Normally very sound from long range, and that was one of the easier ones from the longer distance.
He doesn't like it. Yeah, the problem he's got is if he plays to pot this red, he's a little bit scared about hitting the other red. And if he should attempt it and miss the pot, he'd be leaving Shaun Murphy in. Don't play the safety. Well, he's got the path to try and get in behind green and brown with this safety shot. And doesn't look far away. Yeah, excellent safety. Well, he found that path, but has he left a red to the right corner? Well, that red goes. But it's not easy, this. Yeah, the top red went as well, and that was a little easier.
Six. Seven. 12.
McManus has the tactical nous to create chances for himself. The question today is going to be whether he can take them. Score sufficiently heavily.
13.
Did that in the first frame as Murphy watches on. He's not settled yet. McManus was 64, which was a frame clincher. And this is a decent opportunity to make it 2-0.
Yeah, it was a good snooker escape from Murphy, but he just left those two reds on. And it was a good pot from McManus. Played for the blue. Didn't play it as a shot to nothing. Now, if these two reds go below the pink, has he come back a little bit too far?
$19.
He has, so now having to play the plant.
$20. $26. $27.
Oh, we screwed it again by a long way.
33.
From that easy pink, he's left himself with this tough red.
$34.
And not straight enough on the pink. The two reds below the pink mustn't go to the left corner. Oh, what a good shot that was from McManus. That was well and truly missable. What a great pot that was.
It's a sign of his confidence, isn't it? Didn't hesitate.
40.
Sure to be leaving Murphy with a chance to counter-attack if he'd missed it.
Oh, he's overhit that one by a long way as well.
41.
He's in no man's land. 49 points, the difference. Still needs another red. Shaun just wondering if he's going to get back to the table. Another very attacking shot this, with the rest taking this difficult pink on.
Alan McManus, 41.
Well, fortunately, he hasn't got any position. Very tough pot. But he knew that he only needed that pink and one more red. Well, again, that's not a good safety. Making contact with the brown. Had he missed the brown, he may have forced McManus to bring that safe red off the side cushion. Well, doesn't get any better than that. Just dodging the pink. Good safety. Well, that support safety turned out well. Made contact with the red. Could have easily knocked it over the pocket.
McManus needs just to redden the colour as things stand to make it 2-0 barring snookers.
Well, there's a thin cut on to the right corner. Played as a shot to nothing. Well, a half chance here for Murphy. Good pot. Was it a good kiss?
One.
Could do with a bigger colour than the yellow. Yeah, good pot. And those two reds over by the side cushion there, they are
7.
potable. Well, I tried to move them and I
8.
can't understand why he would do that. Could have dropped him behind them at some stage, but he's finished nicely on the black. May not be able to get to the reds. He has got a little bit of an angle here. But couldn't do anything with it. So is it going to be a double or a safety?
15. Shaun Murphy, 15.
So Murphy shaves the deficit to 34, still 43 on the table. But McManus still has the equation of needing a red and a colour, and he should be safe. Seven ranking titles on the Murphy CV now, the most recent last season in Gibraltar. Of course, he became the 10th player to win the fabled Triple Crown when he won the Masters 3 years ago.
Caught them much too thick. And it was very awkward, that, for Shaun Murphy.
Yes, McManus a little lucky, wasn't he, to leave Murphy hampered in the way he was. What a chance for 2-0. Wow.
And he knows it. That red would have put him into a 2-0 lead, as Philip said. Murphy would have had to have won 3 frames to get in front. So if he could pinch this one, and the red will pass the pink into the baulk corner, or he could play the snooker. But if that goes in, every chance of winning that frame. But it didn't, stayed on the lip. And a thin cut this to the corner, but I fancy McManus to pot it.
Always looked wide, didn't it? So the best Murphy can do is tie, and that's with a black with the final red. Will he get a chance to play for it, though? Doesn't look likely. Well, McManus will be relieved because he missed frame ball just now.
3.
Not punished, though, and it's going to be 2-0.
Four. No. Sorry. 7. Alan McManus, 7 and the frame.
And Shaun Murphy concedes. What a start then from the former Masters champion Alan McManus against the former German Masters runner-up Shaun Murphy. McManus doubling his lead, 2-0. What a start from the 47-year-old Alan McManus. A 2-0 lead over former world champion Shaun Murphy. A 64 break in the opening frame after Murphy had missed a tricky pink to the right centre pocket. The second scrappier, McManus in with 41 and eventually nursing that lead to the line. There's Mark Davis. He's in action against Niu Zhuang of China. Davis, another 40-something, of course, still playing a very high level, but 1-0 down at the moment over on table 3.
Thank you. Frame 3, Alan McManus to break.
And it's 1 frame apiece on table 4 between Hamad Maya and Mei Ji-wen. McManus breaking off in frame 3 with work for Shaun Murphy to do.
This time he's left a red on to this right corner with the red above the black is on to hit, managed to miss it, and a great pot from Murphy.
1.
He's such a pure ball striker, isn't he, Murphy, at his best?
Well, that's what he does best, attacks the balls. And he's got 4 open reds here before he needs to go into the pack of reds.
3.
Made the final
4.
here at the Templedrum 3 years ago, Murphy, and was in front in the first session against Mark Selby before the runaway world #1 turned things around. Selby is in action
11.
this afternoon, of course, against Zhao Guodong of China. It's been a pretty quiet couple of months for the world's top player. It'll be interesting to see how he goes, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's such a class act that it's just a matter of time before he kicks in. Meanwhile, that was a nice little shot Murphy played there, stunning into the reds to develop more reds.
Give me a second, please.
So the pink spot held. Pink going as close to its spot as what it can in a direct line. But doesn't affect the red just below it. That will go into the right corner.
18. 19.
Now, if you could play this black in such a way has to leave himself somewhere where the white is now. He'd be able to open the reds up next time round. Well, maybe just a little far, but he still may be able to nudge one out.
26.
No.
27.
Looks like it could be a plant onto that right corner, and maybe the middle. Just having
34.
a look at that possible plant to the right corner.
$35.
Well, he's got the choice now whether to go into them or play out for that loose red. Well, being a tall guy, he may be able to
42.
reach this red to the bottom corner if he's not on anything, but he is. This isn't easy. Oh, yes, good shot
43.
from Shaun Murphy. No applause for that one, but that was a real pressure ball. Could so easily have missed that one.
And he's so good when cueing is awkward, whether it's because the cue ball is tight to a baulk cushion or as he was hampered there by the centre pocket jaw. That cue delivered straight as an arrow.
50. $51.
This is exactly what Murphy required. A sticky start. He's looked just a little off kilter, but a frame-winning break here, and battle is joined.
Yeah, and he's took them well.
58.
McManus has only broken off.
59.
Got a good cue ball. Close to the cushion, but he left that red out. So no red
66.
in the colour, and he should be safe.
67.
This frame is barely 6
74.
minutes old. It's already done.
75.
Very healthy crowd here inside the Templedrum for this morning's session, and I'm sure a lot of them were encouraged to come and see Murphy, because when he's in full flow, he's a delight to watch. They all love
82.
snooker. And come Sunday for the
83.
final, this place will be packed to the rafters with 2,500 spectators watching the finalists play for the title, and a cheque for £80,000. Same number of ranking points to go with it, of course.
90. 91.
Well, the red by the pink will certainly go into the right middle, but it may go into the left corner as well. A little bit of movement in the crowd. Yes, it goes to the left corner.
98. 99.
Loves to make century breaks, Shaun Murphy.
106.
The 27th of this season for Murphy. 445th of his glittering career.
Yes, and had 5 maximum breaks as well. Managed to get the cue ball out of baulk.
107.
Meiji Wen made a 136 break this morning over on table 4 against Hamid Meyer. That's the best of the tournament to date.
111. 113.
Well, it should be beat here.
And this is the cruelty of snooker, isn't it, Joe? All Alan McManus has done is break off, and it wasn't a bad break off. It was a tough red, wasn't it, for Murphy?
Absolutely. You got the cue ball close to the cushion.
120.
And that's all you can expect of yourself.
It's proved to be his only shot of this frame. What a response from Murphy to losing the first 2.
$131.
Class.
138 in the frame.
It certainly was the tournament high break. A 138 clearance from the Magician. Just what he required after losing the first 2 frames. He's on the board now in style. McManus leading by 2 frames to 1. Shaun Murphy responding to losing the opening 2 frames here at the Templedrum to Alan McManus with a magnificent total clearance of 138. All McManus did was break off.
Thank you. Frame 4, Shaun Murphy.
Murphy knocked in a brilliant long red from pretty close to the baulk cushion and cleared the table in sensational fashion. So 2-1, final frame before the mid-session interval. Murphy well and truly finding his stroke after a slightly ropey opening. And I guess McManus, Joe, can be pretty philosophical about losing that frame because it's not as though he's made a big error which has let Murphy in.
Well, he didn't really make an error at all. He got a good cue ball for the break-off. And as you said, sometimes snooker can be so cruel that that's the only shot you get. But nothing to beat himself up about, that's for sure. Nice little rub off the yellow to leave that cue ball close to the cushion. Caught it too thick. And his safety play hasn't been as good as what McManus's has. Just 74%. As opposed to 95% for McManus on the safety. Didn't reach the baulk line that time round, but fortunately the cue ball finished in front of the brown.
That's the fascination of this match, isn't it? The heavy scoring of Murphy as against the tactical craft of McManus.
Well, that's a good safety from Shaun. Getting the cue ball over the right side of the table, making things difficult. Could try and leave the cue ball on this black cushion, but there is danger with that because the red just above the black will go to the right corner. So something to think about here for McManus. Well, as I said, this red will cut to the right corner, the one just above the black. Not easy, and there is danger with it. The jaws of the green pocket will be a good target if he's considering the safety. Just try and leave the cue ball. Well, if he's covered the red next to the black, that's okay, but the jaws of the green pocket would have been better. May have left it out for McManus here. There's a possible plant, but can't see it. He'll settle for that. Now the red next to the black would be ideal for playing safe off. Looks the safest red. And again, very good safety that from Shaun Murphy.
A bird's eye view It's a great tournament for the fans as well as the players who love to compete here, because, of course, they can keep an eye on everything that's going on simultaneously. Although that's not easy when there's 5 matches. That could get a bit confusing, Joe.
Well, I always thought that when I went to watch the snooker at the Crucible and you could see both tables, I always thought it was a bit confusing there to get involved in both. I like to see just one match, but everybody's got a different point of view. Like this particular match now has come down to who wins this safety battle, because the reds are nicely spread with the pink, blue and black available. Both players are aware of if they leave their opponent a chance of any kind, it could be the last one. Just playing the containing safety shot, and that red bouncing off the black cushion there has blocked the red going into the right middle. Well, he caught that one thin, and that's just how he intended it. Another good shot from Shaun. Well, great thinker of the game, Alan McManus, and he needs to think about something here because this is tough. Trying to play the containing safety shot again, leaving the cue ball on the black cushion. And he'll be happy with that. So a similar kind of shot from Murphy, keeping the pressure on. But might just have a path back to balk. Caught it a little bit too thick, hence the cannon to the blue.
Foul.
And a chance for
Shaun
Murphy.
6.
He played 2 or 3 good safety shots there, Shaun, and eventually he got the prize. Just catching it a little too thick. Unfortunate to have knocked the pink in, because the pink comes back onto its spot and is potable. It's not just the 6 points. And there you saw the cue power of Shaun Murphy. On that bottom on the cue ball, drawing it back for the green. Great cue action.
Four.
And he's so rhythmic, isn't he, when he's in amongst them? His style is always the same. He's got that lovely pause between the backswing and striking the cue ball. Just looks rock solid. And he's playing well, he just looks like he'll never miss.
Five.
Yes, and by taking that red instead of the easy one, the pink now goes to that right corner. could have played better
11.
on a colour there. The pink and black is tough. Nicely done, and the red will go to the right corner.
80.
Not afraid of leaving himself a difficult pot, Shaun Murphy. Now, maybe this time play up for the blue, or even one of the baulk colours.
19.
I think he did play it for one of the baulk colours, but the kiss on the blue made things a little bit more difficult than it would have been. I played the cannon to the two reds, knew he was going to be on something, and he's on choice of reds.
24. 25. 32.
Hampered over the red he played for, but always had this one to the middle.
33. 38.
Murphy is another player who's been tinkering with
39.
one or two technical aspects of his game in the last 12 months or so. Would certainly appear to have paid dividends. He's already racked up £339,000 in prize money this season. On the Champion of Champions, of course, one of the most illustrious invitational events, reserved only for big tournament winners, beating Ronnie O'Sullivan as well, Joe, in the final.
45.
I think that was very significant because he'd never beaten him over the long distance.
Yeah, he proved to himself that he can compete at the
46.
very best. The last of the easy reds. But doesn't need to split
52.
those reds. If he could hold for the black or pink here, he's got that red closest to the right corner. And he'd only need that and a colour. So no need to split the reds.
$53.
Could have done with being a little straighter on this pink. So he could have got closer to this red by the corner pocket there. Now if he could bring the cue ball back to somewhere where it is now, the red is no gimme. But he'd only need that and a colour. 65 points the lead.
$59.
Not quite.
Shaun
So
Murphy,
McManus
59.
can come back to the table. He can still win. 75 points left on the table.
Very tough pod at that pace. Well, this would be some frame for McManus to steal, wouldn't it? He's got an awful lot to do to make it happen. Yeah, nearly 200 points without reply. And that's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, he tried to split the reds at the same time as potting the red. But as you say, it's gone horribly wrong. Now, Shaun Murphy just needs a red and a colour. This red to the middle. And to take the pressure off the pot, just pull the cue ball back slightly. Well, if he plays the run through, it has to go in. Yeah, that's the right way to play it for me. Wasn't leaving anything on.
Well, it's been a very impressive response from Shaun Murphy, who was second best in the first couple of frames. Missed one or two from long range. Didn't quite look himself, but McManus's excellent start has certainly sparked the magician into life. That 138 clearance, the highest break of the tournament so far, and now a 59 break, plus this contribution.
16.
He's going to be levelling the match in some style.
17.
And we start all over again after the 15-minute break. It's a best of 5 from here on in.
$24. Shaun Murphy, 24, and a frame.
And for the second frame in a row, Alan McManus fails to register a single point. Two excellent breaks from Shaun Murphy, the 138 clearance and 59 in the fourth. And it's honours even at the mid-session interval. Shaun Murphy 2, Alan McManus 2. Welcome back to Berlin and the Templedrum and the second day of our live coverage of the German Masters snooker. And a fascinating match has reached its midway point. Shaun Murphy 2, Alan McManus 2. At the outset, this felt like a game between the heavy scorer Murphy and the tactical craftsman McManus. It's proved to be that way. McManus winning the safety battle quite comfortably, but Murphy's pot success, 94%. As against McManus's 88, and a couple of big breaks, including the highest of the tournament, 138 from Murphy and 59 to recover from 2-0 behind to level at 2-all. So it's now a best of 5, the first 2-5 to go through to the round of 16, and a meeting with either Dave Gilbert or Mark Joyce, who are in action later today. Things are perfectly poised then here at the Templedrum. Shaun Murphy 2, Alan McManus 2, and 227 points, Joe Johnson, from Murphy without reply. That was some response, wasn't it, as the players walked back into losing the first couple of frames?
Yes, and I was talking to Shaun in the interval, and he said, "Did I just win a safety battle there?" I said, "You certainly did. In that fourth frame, he played some excellent safety, and he punished him when he finally got the reward for all that good safety play. He punished McManus. So it's all nicely poised, as you said, Philip. It's going to be interesting now to see what happens here. Been a good match so far, this.
Thank you. Frame 5, Alan McManus to break.
So Alan McManus getting us back underway. Frame 5 of a possible 9. This their 7th meeting. Murphy leading the head-to-head 4-2, but this is their first meeting for 4 years.
Well, he won the frame off a similar time. In fact, it was a bit more difficult than that. So McManus can count himself let off there. Didn't want to hit that red. Could so easily have left those two reds on just above the black. He has left a red to the baulk corner, and that's simply because he caught that red. Shaun Murphy getting himself on line. And that's another let off. Played for the blue that time round. He fully expected to pot that. He could have played for the brown or the green, which would have given him some kind of safety, but he fully expected to get that. And it was some distance away, really.
Yeah, 3 from 7 from long range for Murphy, which by his very high standards is mediocre. But this is the kind of chance you feel as though McManus has to really capitalise on if he's to cause an upset.
Yeah, and he could have played that one better, Philip. He's not ideal on this black. Got to put everything into the black, because the positional side of it, he won't quite know what's going to happen to the cue ball. And that's the way to play it. Block the pocket if he'd missed it.
8.
So now he's in. Got to get into that pack of reds as soon as possible. There's only 3 reds in play.
Nine.
Oh, didn't play that one well. Wrong side of the blue. But might be able to play in and out of baulk. Got to miss the green. Yeah, well played. Just missed the green.
14.
Didn't
15.
really get into the cue ball that time. Played for the blue into the middle.
And then McManus.
Well, he
15.
played for this red into the right corner, and he's nicely on it. Very nearly went into the green pocket. It looks pretty tight, this. Now, if it had had a bit of right-hand side on the cue ball there, the cue ball would have gone down towards the baulk colours, but may have had to play it with left-hand side on the cue ball to pot the red. Yeah, didn't want the kiss.
Four.
Another good recovery shot. Oh,
5.
was that a good kiss? Has it left him on the blue? If he can pot the blue, he may be able to go into the pack of reds. Yep, played it well. And he's on a red. Just. Well, he expected to go into the reds straight away, directly, but it's worked out nicely. He's got through that gap, and he's nicely on the blue. And the reds at his mercy.
16.
Just to bring you up to date with some other scores, Nu Zhuang 2, Mark Davis 2 on table 3, and Mei Ji Wen 2-1 up on Hamid Meyer.
17.
Mark Selby to come this afternoon, beginning his bid for a second German Masters title, the man who deprived Murphy of the crown 3 years ago, up against Xiao Guodong of China. And tonight here on Eurosport, it's Ding Junhui, who played well in his first round victory over Michael Georgiou, having had a rough few months. He's up against Ricky Walden.
21.
Could have done with that cue ball just travelling a little further. But he's got choices here. He could drop it in and he'd be on the black if he found the gap between the reds, or play down for the blue, green. The important thing is the pot. Played it well. Excellent rest player, Shaun Murphy.
22.
Got to be accurate with his positional play here. There's a red just below the pink spot and will go to the left corner. And if he could get straight on that, that would lead him to the black. And that could possibly win him the frame. But decided to play for this more difficult red into the left corner.
27. $28.
Well, again, he's got choices. He could play the cannon to that red just below the pink spot. Just doesn't want to tie the black up. Now, can he get to the black? He's on this red to the left corner. Just having a look at
33.
that. He couldn't have played that any better, really. It was hard enough to knock the red just past the black.
34. 41.
Can only sit there and hope.
Mr.
42.
Blue into the yellow pocket. McManus did get the first opportunity in this first frame after the interval. Didn't capitalise.
No, and to top it off, he got good position on the red, didn't he? Weren't Murphy opened the reds up. Could have been McManus's
47.
points.
48.
Left a nice angle on the black to play the cannon to the red. 40 points, the difference. So just this red and a colour.
55. 56.
Just looks so confident walking around the table and very intimidating for an opponent. As Philip said, he doesn't look like he's going to miss when he gets in amongst the balls in this mood.
63.
Yes, it took him a while to get going today, but my goodness, he's certainly done so now. 138, 59.
64.
This break of 64 with power to add more.
Well, you'd fancy him to get the century now.
$70.
Yellow will go into the
71.
yellow pocket. Has the angle just to stun up the table. And the crowd really enjoying this.
77.
They were royally entertained last evening. Judd Trump and Ben Wollaston conjuring 4 centuries between them.
79.
Trump coming through. Murphy closing in on his 2nd century of this match.
82.
And it's the same cue action
86.
every time he takes a shot. His discipline with the cue action is something to be believed. Really
91.
is such a class act, and when he's playing like this, how he's not number one? Hard to imagine.
97.
Well, you mentioned that's really the only mountain left to climb for Murphy. He's won the Triple Crown, Masters, UK and World Champs. He's currently at 6 in the world, but that was world #1 quality snooker, wasn't it? Another clearance from Murphy, another century, his 2nd of the match. Alan McManus, having won the first 2 frames, has scored just 15 points in the next 3. Murphy 3-2 up. Some tremendous snooker from Shaun Murphy in the last 3 frames. Having lost the first 2 to Alan McManus, he's really stepped on the gas here. 138, 59 and 104. That's 447 career centuries now for the Magician, and 28
Thank you.
this season.
Frame 6.
Remarkable stuff.
Shaun Murphy to break.
cue ball coming in behind the yellow. A little fortunate because they always play it to the baulk cushion. Well, it's a little wide. Any harder, and he would have left this red on to the right corner. Shaun's safety play has improved, now to 80% from 73.
And McManus's has dropped from the mid-90s, which is outstanding, down to the mid-80s.
Got a good cue ball, and he's covered this red over the right corner. But has left a little tempter, this red to the left corner. But lots of pressure on it, because if he should miss it, he could be leaving the other red on. Couldn't be tempted.
The overall table time is pretty similar. Murphy 54% as against McManus 46, but in the last 3 frames it's been monopolised by Shaun Murphy. McManus reduced to spectator.
Cue ball's close, but a good safety. Yeah, Shaun playing some very good safety shots, and he's got the snooker again. Shouldn't leave anything with the pack being so tightly bunched. Alan could take this red on, stun across to the left side of the table. Wouldn't leave anything on except the red he was playing on, but he's just playing the safety. Good speed.
Shaun Murphy recognised the quality of that safety. Top of the table, not of the head. But he is competing in this department now.
Yeah, and that's another good hit. This time there is danger if he takes that long red on. Looking at the possibility of a 3-ball plant. But trying to get that cue ball in behind the yellow, I would suspect. Well, a little nod of the head there from McManus because he knew he hadn't put enough pace into the cue ball. He's left a tempter for Murphy. And right in the middle. Well, McManus refused that shot twice. Okay, it was a little easier from there, but the same result.
And the way Murphy has been cueing in the last hour or so, no surprise at all to see it whack the back of the leather right in the heart of the pocket. Didn't touch the sides.
Yeah, it was a poor safety from Alan McManus. How costly is it going to be?
9. $16. $17.
Well, he's got the angle to go into them, and if he does go into them, he wants to miss the pink on the left. And that would split nicely. Or should do. Perfect. Got to be on one.
$22.
Although, to be fair, could have been on something easier. He's on a red to the middle, one to the corner. But awkward cue in this.
$23.
This is the kind of form that Murphy conjured when beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the best of 19 frame Champion of Champions final. The kind of form that got him to the UK final.
Well, if the black goes to the right corner, he can take this red
26.
to the left corner. And it does.
27.
And that should lead him to those two reds behind the black. Oh, what a miss.
Shaun Murphy, 27.
Just when he was going so well. And I don't think he was on the red that he played for.
The first ball of significance he's missed since he fell 2-0 behind. He's looked majestic, Murphy, but I think he'd be the first to admit there have been times in his career where he's lacked that killer instinct. What an opportunity that was for 4-2. And then it's a long, long way back for McManus, but the Scots got to start scoring now.
Yeah, he could have played for the black into the right centre there. was coming around the 2 cushions, leaving himself on the black, but preferred to play up for one of the baulk colours, making sure that he was on a colour. It didn't look difficult just to stun off the 2 cushions for the black. Get the black back on its spot. He's close to the red. Very close.
Four. Five.
The black must go to the right corner pocket. And now a great chance this for McManus.
His highest break so far remains the 64 he made in the opening frame.
Twelve. Thirteen.
Oh, and a simple
Alan
blue.
McManus, 13.
He's furious, and no wonder.
Yep, he knows. That was a great chance to punish Murphy. But now it's Murphy back at the table. He can't look. No, he's not on it. So it didn't cost McManus.
Green ball.
It didn't, but it was a good chance, wasn't it, for McManus to build
Shaun Murphy,
a sizable break and perhaps a frame-winning one. Will he get another opportunity to do that?
Well, he may have a chance here. Red will pop to the left corner. He should be able to avoid the black. And he's got the green over the pocket if it does go in. Managed to avoid the black. But caught the red a little bit too thin. Shaun Murphy can afford to go for this red and try and get that cue ball back to the baulk cushion. It'd be on the green if it went in. And it has gone in. Didn't play the kiss.
1.
To the red. Got an easy green if you can see it. Yeah, there can be tough shots, especially at this stage of the game.
And Murphy is one of the
8.
best at them. Barry Hawkins, another tremendous player from tight to the rails.
9.
Well, he's in with another chance, and every chance of making it 4-2 now. The red below the pink is available to the left corner. Also available to the middle, and he's nicely on it. Just checking
16.
the scoreboard, he's 31 points in front.
$17.
So this black, one more red in the colour.
Potentially the key frame of this match. Alan McManus
24.
had the chance to potentially level up 3 apiece, but he missed a routine blow off its spot. He wasn't punished for that initially, but he gave up that opportunity, which looks like costing him dear.
$25.
Well, if he pots the green, McManus can tie as we look at this missed blue again. Just a lapse of concentration. That's all it was. Wasn't pressure, because it was unmissable. Just playing position more than the pot.
Yeah, the best McManus can do if this green disappears is tie.
So needs another red.
28.
Could have done with that.
Shaun Murphy, 28.
Well, this red is on to the corner, but he needs to get to the black. Plenty of danger. Got to avoid the green, brown. Well, it's not going to be an easy black.
1.
And he's going to try and get the cannon to the red as well. But if he should get that shot, he's got every chance of tying the frame. No. And he's got the cannon.
And
Got it
McManus,
perfect.
1. Frame conceded.
McManus
Frame.
nods
Shaun
his
Murphy.
head in the direction of Shaun Murphy. He did have chances, the former Masters winner in that frame, and his failure to take one could prove very expensive. Murphy won away at 4-2. Welcome back to the Templedrum, where Shaun Murphy has won 4 frames in a row from 2-0 down. He's knocked in some big breaks. That frame was scrappy, and Alan McManus will rue the miss blue. A routine shot. You saw his fury at making the error. It was a chance to make a sizable break. He's only made one of those. That was the 64 in the first frame, but by and large, he's been heavily outscored, outgunned by Murphy, who only needs one more. McManus needs the remaining 3.
Yes, it's going to hurt Alan McManus. It should have been 3 each. He knows it. All the balls were there for the taking. There was nothing difficult.
That's one area of Murphy's game which will have annoyed him today. He's normally around about 70 to 80% from long range, just 50% today. In fact, now 45, 5 from 11 if you prefer.
So, Alan in. Wrong side of the blue, but enough angle on the blue to be able to come in and out of baulk. Oh, and again it misses the blue.
Alan McManus, 1.
Oh, that could be very costly. Would have liked to have been closer to the blue and black. Didn't play to hit the red. Now does this red go to the left middle?
8.
Yes, it just goes. A little fortunate. And good play for the pink into the same pocket. Oh, he's missed it. Now that's so unlike
8.
Shaun Murphy to miss an easy red.
He doesn't like making life easy for himself, Shaun Murphy. He'd be the first to admit it. Even when he's playing as well as he has today, sometimes you get the feeling that he makes a bit of a meal of getting over the line. And you can tell he's frustrated. He knows that was a chance to close out the match.
Yes, unfortunately, he hasn't left anything easy for McManus. Shorter pace again. It's close. And he knew it.
Foul. Shaun Murphy, 4.
And once again, nothing easy left. He could play this long red. And he's considering it. But there is danger with it. McManus can't afford to take this long red on and miss it. Murphy only needed one more frame.
On the other hand, as Murphy watches on, you get the feeling, Joe, that he's got to make something happen here. He's got to get in, hasn't he, and start scoring. Otherwise, it's just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, his mind's not in a good place at the moment, though. Missed another blue in the early part of this frame. So his confidence will be very low at the moment. So don't blame him for not taking that red on. And Murphy doesn't want to leave him an easy chance. This is the blue, the first blue.
And this one wasn't much more difficult, was it? If anything, it was easier.
And Murphy keeping the pressure on. Another good safety. In fact, the safety success now is equal, 85% apiece. There it is. Could have done with that cue ball being on the cushion. May have left a little tempter here for Murphy. Doesn't have to go for it. Could keep the pressure on McManus. Another good pace on the cue ball. And that's keeping the pressure on him. Well, he could try and leave this cue ball on the black cushion again. If he plays the red closest to the left middle, sends the red down towards the yellow, he should be able to lay the cue ball on the cushion. That looks the safest shot to me, just to get out of trouble this shot. But he's seen something different. Oh, what a shot. Forced into taking it on. There's no colour, but it's got him out of trouble. It was very risky to take that on, but he's got it. Full credit to him.
Green ball. Alan McManus, 1.
I don't think he can see the red by the green. If he can, should be able to clip off that one. Yes, he can just see it. Now, got to be careful of the double kiss. And a little angle here to go in behind the brown. Ooh, very close.
Perhaps the most surprising aspect of this match so far is that Shaun Murphy is now winning the safety battle over Alan McManus, and that is a major feather in his cap. I think that's the aspect that will perhaps please him most, assuming he goes on to win. We know about his scoring ability, that's never been in doubt. But he needed to be good tactically today, Joe, didn't he? And he has been.
Yep, absolutely. Can't fault him for that. And if those had been going in as well, that was a half chance, you've got to say. Now, where's it going to finish? Well, a little fortunate, hampered over the green. Well, it fit earlier. Yeah, he couldn't play onto a colour, so just dropped the red in and playing the snooker in behind the brown. The pot itself was hard enough.
1.
That was a delicate shot, so easy to leave it short. Oh, I hit it too hard. So trouble for McManus. Red's on the black cushion and the target, but the blue is a big ball here. Oh, he's done well. What a good escape. No wonder to call him Angles, McManus. But he's left a red on to the left middle. That was a terrific escape from McManus there. Deserved better. Well, I thought he would have played this softer and been top side of the green to be able to get back to the reds. It may have played for the pink.
Wow.
Shaun Murphy special.
1.
But it looks like just the safety. What a pot.
Yellow ball.
It was worth so much more than one, wasn't it?
Yes, and this time easier to get safer out of this snooker. Big target to hit the reds. Well, does this red go along the cushion? If it's touching the cushion, looking at the possible plant as well. So a chance now for McManus.
One.
Well, he's got choices here. Could play the black and play for the two reds into the right corner, or he could screw into the reds and try and develop something. He's unfortunate. He can pot this red, but he can't get to a colour.
8.
Well, maybe you can. Oh.
Alan McManus, 8.
Another red missed by McManus, and another opportunity for Shaun Murphy.
It's been the story of the second half of the match, hasn't it? McManus started very well, played some great stuff in the first 2 frames, but he's missed a lot of pretty easy balls since then, by his standards anyway. So another chance for Murphy to potentially close this match out.
1.
At least build a big lead.
Yes, he wonders if he's going to get back to the table.
6.
It's in Murphy's hands, if he does or not.
7.
Not an easy table to close out the match. But he could certainly get a good lead.
14. 15.
26, the difference.
22. 23.
Well, just where he didn't want to be, absolutely straight on the red. Had to play for this red along the cushion, and this is missable.
$30.
Oh, that's a cracking shot.
31.
That really was a good shot from Murphy.
No margin of error at all for a shot like that. And there's another good one.
He's going to need one of those safe reds, though. He's going to win the match at
38.
this visit.
$39.
If he pots the black, there's going to be 50 points in it, with 51 left on the table. Now, will he play this slow, so it
46.
has every chance of dropping, or will he play it at speed? No.
Shaun Murphy.
So it's not over yet.
46.
Never easy shots, those. Just off the cushion. So 3 reds, 3 blacks and all the colours to win by 1. Can he do it?
1.
Well, he may have left an angle on the black to play the cannon to that top red.
Make sure of the black, otherwise he's going to need a snooker.
Oh, he's unfortunate. He can pot the red, but it's no good to him because he can't get to the black.
8.
Well, the problem with sending the cue ball down the table is if he doesn't cover this red, that's out in the open, Murphy's going to have a shot at it.
Alan McManus. 8.
Has he covered it? He's left the other straight red to the corner. And Shaun knows that he just needs the red to go through. Well, he can only try and drop in behind the black. Shaun Murphy happy enough to keep the reds down that end of the table. Makes it so much more difficult for McManus to get blacks off the reds. So another half chance.
Murphy has been, for him, average from long range today. Another chance to put this match to bed. And
McManus.
calamity.
4.
That is interesting. That's very, very unfortunate for Shaun Murphy, but what a chance now for Alan McManus.
Surely the last chance he's going to get to keep this match alive. 38 the difference. You'd normally back Murphy to pot that red.
One.
Hit it a little too thick and then the unlucky in off.
Six.
Doesn't want the kiss.
7.
Unless it's like that. Well, he could have done with just another couple of inches on the cue ball.
12.
This is a tough shot. Doesn't have to take it on. Could play the safety. That's a great pot, but the cue ball is going in behind the pink, and that's so unfortunate 14. For Alan McManus.
Had to put everything into the pot there, didn't he?
Well, you couldn't legislate for that cue ball going in behind the pink. I mean, it was nicely on the green without that. Oh, that's a disaster. That's
and McManus,
a
14.
disaster, and
Shaun
a free
Murphy,
ball.
7. Free ball.
24 the difference. 25 left. Sorry, make it 31 the difference now with that foul. So barring snookers, it's all over for McManus. After such a good start, he'll be very disappointed with the way this match has panned out.
Well, Murphy could either put a ball safe or play the pot. Decided to play it safe, and he's got it safe. Just.
2 snookers required as things stand for McManus.
Oh, that could be one of them. Handy double kiss. Deserves some luck from Snooker in himself. I'm potting that good yellow. Now then, is there any reason why he played it so hard?
Foul. Alan McManus, 4.
Well, I repeat, he doesn't like to make life easy for himself. No pain, no gain. Still a snooker needed, but while there's life, there's hope, and McManus is as good as anyone at getting them.
Well, just a little higher on the green, and he could have dropped in behind the pink. But I don't think he can get that shot. But it might just be able to nudge the pink off the cushion. This is close. Well, I think it's swervable, coming off the baulk cushion. Now maybe take the opportunity to pot the green. Play the snooker on the brown, because at the moment the brown is safe-ish.
Three. Yeah.
Still the one snooker needed.
Seven.
I'm not sure what the advantage is of potting the brown, unless he intends to pot the blue as well and play one snooker on the pink. Well, that's brought the pink into play, so no need to pot
7.
Pot the blue now.
18 the difference. Rather 20 the difference with 18 available, so Murphy's still firm favourite to clinch the match here, but he's not quite over the line.
No, he's a little bit further away from it now, with the pink coming off the cushion like it has. If McManus should get the snooker, all there for the taking.
Five.
Once again, pot in the blue limits his chances. The pink was in a good spot for snookers.
Alan McManus, 5.
Got to be careful here because the double kiss is on. Couldn't hit it much harder because it would have been sending the pink over that corner pocket. So a chance for Murphy to put this pink right over the pocket. Or in. Oh, keep that one out. That is almost impossible.
Yes, if McManus breathes too heavily, that pink's going to drop in. It is right on the lip. Well, if he keeps this out, he's a miracle man.
Remember Patsy Fagan playing this shot. And he followed the pink into the pocket.
It's all over. There was nothing McManus could do there, but well played Shaun Murphy from 2-0 down. He really turned on the style. A couple of century breaks, including the tournament high of 138. Alan McManus started well, made a 64 in the first frame, but couldn't follow it up. Murphy ultimately had too many guns for him, and he comes through by 5 frames to 2.